Welcome to your practice. Set your intention. Take a big, full, deep breath in. Drop the hands by your side. Stretch the arms all the way up. Look up. Gaze is steady toward the thumbs. Belly's pulling in. Tailbone slightly tucked. Exhale, release the hands by your side. Start to bend the knees. Come into a chair pose. Round the back as you move into Utkatasana, chair pose. Palms together. Exhale, hands come back down, coming into a nice squatted position. If you can keep the heels down, keep them down. Open the knees, let the chest come through the knees, and have a seat all the way down into the floor. Coming into Navasana pose, you can bend the knees and support the legs back behind, or you can keep the legs nice and straight. Spine is lifting, heart is lifting, breathing. Bring the fingertips down onto the floor, showing options. You can bend the knees and just alternate the toes, or you can keep the legs nice and straight and pulse, or you can take both legs together as one like a pike. So finding your own rhythm, your own breath, and moving with that rhythm. Take about 8 or 10, and then just lower halfway down, meeting me. There was Joey, did a run by, and lift back up. You can have the knees bent and lower back down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, hold that, place the feet down, lean forward, leaning forward. Now place and lift the feet, go back, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Very nice. On the last one, come all the way up by using momentum if possible. Find the chair pose and then exhale the hands down beside your body. Now I'm facing you so I can show you what I'm doing, but you can stay like you were on your mat. Coming into tree pose, so the foot can rest on to the ankle area and the toe is onto the floor, or you can bring the leg all the way up into that inner thigh. You can even lean over if you want to make it a little more challenging. Bring the hands to heart center and release down. So again, the other side, just make a little kickstand there. Open the knee up toward the side. Find and root into the earth and push the inner thigh toward the foot and the foot toward the inner thigh. Tailbone is slightly pulling up and in. And inhale, exhale, leaning over toward the bent knee, stretching the arm. That is simply an option. If you're struggling for your balance, then stay where you are. Hands to heart center, inhale here, exhale, both feet down onto the floor. Inhale, stretch up, look up, gaze up, exhale, forward, folding down, head is heavy. Inhale, half lift, float the left leg back, stay there, land that leg all the way to the back of the mat, coming into a modified Anjaneyasana or Crescent Lunge. Left hand down, lift the right leg up, move into a wild thing. Inhale, exhale. Now lift and lower. You can keep the foot back behind you or place the right foot into tree pose or have the right leg reaching up toward the sky. You find your own intensity and make this your own practice. Come into a tree plank. So the legs are in tree pose. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Down dog. Breathe. Gaze forward, bend the knees, walk, float, step forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, sit chair pose, roll the spine up, arms reach up, stand up, Tadasana pose. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, head down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, the right leg lifts back behind you. Start to bend into the front knee. Place that right leg back. Come onto the back knee. Stretch the arms all the way up. Inhale, right away. Right hand comes down. Gaze to the floor. Take that foot up and over. wild thing. We're going to start those pulses. Keep the foot on the floor or come into that tree pose or reach that left leg all the way up to the sky. Just pulsing about 6 or 8, however many you can do, keeping the integrity. Plank, tree legs, lower, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, push back, down dog. Fingers are spread wide, belly's pulling in, heels are reaching toward the floor. Gaze forward, bend the knees, hop, float, step. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward, folding down. Good. Inhale all the way up to standing, hands by your side. Hands come to heart center. Start to lean forward 90 degrees. Pull the belly in, float the left leg back behind you. You can stay there, or the leg can come all the way up, warrior C. Think of the body getting long, extending, radiating out through the heart. Land into warrior B. Heel toe that back foot back if you need to. Inhale, exhale, reverse your warrior B, stretching along that right side of the body. Left hand comes down inside the foot or elbow to knee. Side angle pose, Parsvakonasana. Left hand outside of that right hand outside of that right foot. Float into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So I'm going to show you can use the block either way, either height. Just lean your right hand gently onto that block and float. Have energy in the leg that is lifted. Now close the hip down. Bring the left knee back behind the right heel, bumping them together if possible. If it's too much, you can stay right there with the hands on the floor, or you can bring the hands onto that front knee. You're drawing the front foot toward the back leg and the back leg toward the front foot. You're focusing. This is a very difficult pose to hold balance-wise. Now straighten through the legs, float the back leg up. Meet me in a plank pose. Drop to the knees if you want to. Send the hips back, coming into upward facing dog. Meeting and downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walk, float, step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, rise up, stand up strongly, victoriously. Hands by your side. Stretch the arms back up. Inhale, exhale, forward, folding down. Onto the fingertips. Float the right leg back. Stay there or lift it all the way up. Warrior C. Warrior 3, getting long in the body, having energy. Now bend through the front leg, coming into Warrior B, Virabhadrasana B. Let the hips sink down and reverse your Warrior B. Inhale, exhale takes you into that reverse. Inhale, exhale into side angle pose. One breath there, right hand down, left arm outside of the left foot. So it's slightly in front of that foot so that the shoulder and the wrist stay in alignment, and you're opening the body up. You're stacking the body open toward the sky. Now close the hip. We're bringing that right knee back behind the left heel, drawing energy toward one another, the legs, so that you sort of zip the energy up. Bring the hands onto the front knee or keep them on the ground. Gaze nice and soft. Bring the hands down. Meet me in a plank pose. Drop to the knees if you want to. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop to your knees, to your shins, and bring those legs all the way through. Lay down onto your back. Good. Bend the knees. We're taking bicycle, so just alternating side to side. Go at your own pace. Have integrity. have the willpower to execute these in a way that challenges your body, that strengthens your body, and that allows you to expand and grow. Now, going faster, side to side, just keep going, stay with your breath, you're doing great. And then release, come into a happy baby, let the belly relax. Take a deep full breath in. Now place the feet down. You're coming into a bridge pose. Push into the feet, strong legs, lift the hips up. Inhale, exhale, lower. Squeeze the bum when you get to the top. Take 8 to 10 of these based on your breath, your speed, your practice, your energy. Just keep flowing, keep pulsing. And release all the way down. Pull the knees in, give yourself a little hug, honoring what you've done thus far. Grab the backs of the knees, rock yourself up into a seat, and then open the legs, lean forward, lift your bum away, and just pulsing forward and then all the way back. Breathing here, and you're almost finished. And the last one, come all the way up, round through the back, come into a crow pose or the position of a crow pose, like a prep, and hold that. If you don't have that crow pose quite yet, then you can just hold right there. Otherwise, lean forward, bend through the elbows, float it back, high to low push-up, meet me in a downward facing dog. Take a few breaths there. Bend the knees, walk, float forward, inhale, exhale, forward fold, stand up, stretch up, look up, hands by your side. Now bring your right knee up and interlace the hands around that right knee. Start to lift the heart up and see if you can take the gaze up. And if you'd like, lean back so the right knee is pushing toward the front of the mat and the hands are pulling back toward you, counteracting. A counterbalance is happening right there. Inhale, you can stay right here. Draw inner thighs toward one another. Belly is nice and drawing inward, leaning back, using the breath, letting the breath guide you. And I lost my balance, and when you do that, you just come back to center. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward folding down. Inhale, lift halfway, float, jump back, high to low push up. Inhale, push yourself back like you're preparing for a camel pose, Ustrasana. Stretch the arms all the way up, open through the heart and open and let the arms come into a big circle. Coming into headstand. Interlace the hands. Good. Inhale, straighten through the legs. Walk the feet toward the elbows. Get the hips over the shoulders. You can stay right there with your feet on the ground. That is a headstand. Or take the legs all the way up and breathe. Push strongly into the earth so that you're taking the weight away from the neck and the head. Start to bend the knees, pull the knees in toward the chest, and hold. Then release the tops of the feet down, lower all the way down, child's pose. Forehead is heavy. Now lift yourself up on an inhale. Bring the hands in front of you. Pull the knees toward the wrist. Round through the spine. Come onto the tops of the feet. Knees come into the chest. Lifting and lowering. Arms are straight and strong. Keep lifting and lowering. Last one. Come all the way down. And lean over toward the left and gaze up. Inhale, stretch the left arm up and lean over toward the opposite direction. Hands come back down, and this time go with what you did before or start to pulse and lift everything up. So this is nice and controlled. The knees, the thighs are drawing into the chest. The back is rounded until you get those hips up and over. Shake it out a little bit. Feels so nice to do that. And meet me in a downward facing dog. Right away, right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip, feel that stretch. Gaze forward, come into a plank with your right knee drawing in toward the chest, pulsing it up and down about 5 times. Coming into plank pose, pushing back, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, exhale, open through that left side of the body. Pull the knee in, keep the bum down toward the earth. Make sure it's not coming too high up. Plank pose. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Shift forward, plank, and take 3 push-ups. You can be on your knees or keep the legs nice and straight. Push back, down dog. Breathing there, gaze forward, hop, float, step forward, inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. Stand up, stretch up, gaze up, hands by your side. Now bring the hands to your heart center, cross your right leg over, and you can use your block to rest right here. Or you can not use the block. You maybe don't need the block. And you're rounding through the spine, pulling the belly in, drop the head if it feels okay to you, and just breathe there. Breathing into the spaces where you feel tightness. Now take the right leg all the way back, warrior C, and land softly into a modified crescent lunge, stretching the arms all the way up. Hands come down, come right into pigeon pose on the left side. Now stay with the toes curled under back there so the knee can be slightly bent. Come onto the fingertips and use the fingertips to open through the heart. Inhale, exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Stay there for a breath or 2 and then draw it back to center. Take an inhale and exhale, gaze to the other shoulder. We're going to be grabbing the back foot. If you have a strap, grab a strap, wrap it around that foot, grab it, and start to draw that right elbow toward the front of your mat. Take the left hand back if that feels okay to you, and lift through the heart. Draw the elbows toward one another and feel that mandala that you're creating within the body. And release that. Good. Curl under the toes, come into a plank, high to low push-up, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walk, float, step forward, inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, hands by your side. Just doing the other side, bring the hands to the heart. Palms are touching, left leg is crossing over. Sitting nice and low. Pull the belly in. Use that block if you need to, or just place the fingers or hands down onto the floor and let your head relax, let your jaw relax, and breathe. Now take that left leg, thread it all the way back, warrior C, 1 breath, landing with control, and coming all the way down into your right-sided pigeon pose with the back toes curled under. So I forgot to do that gaze here. So inhale, exhale, gaze over toward the right. Come back through center and gaze toward the left. Back through center, and then taking that king pigeon pose if that's available to you. So I'm just exploring what's available to me today, and it doesn't feel so good, so I'm going to use this strap and come into this pose, always honoring our body and honoring where we are on each particular day with each particular practice. Such a beautiful way to nourish and love ourselves. Meet me in a plank pose, upward facing dog, down dog. jump, float, hop forward, inhale, exhale, forward folding. Now, last thing we're doing is a dancer's pose. You can use a strap or you can just grab the outside edge of your right leg with your right hand and do the dancer's pose that way. And so think of lifting the back leg up and always being mindful of your standing leg. That's where your stability comes from. And then think of the pose evolving all the way out through the heart center and creating that beautiful sort of circular shape. And release that and just going to the other side. You can use your strap or just go into the full pose. Natarajasana pose, or grab the outside edge of that back leg and take that form, that shape. Beautiful, beautiful dancer's pose. Breathing here. So just letting yourself be curious in these kind of poses and release that all the way back down. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward folding down. Inhale into a chair pose, moving into Malasana. Start to bring the bum down toward the earth. Open the knees. Let your body come inside of those knees. Spine is rounding. Exhale, head toward the earth. And let go right here. Breathe. Now bring your bum all the way down. Come into boat pose, Navasana. Strong, straight legs or bent legs. Either one is just fine. You're just breathing and holding. The body, the legs may begin to shake. It's okay. See if you can focus more on the breath and allow that shaking to unfold if it's happening. Minus any judgments or thoughts. Just breathing into your own strength, belief. And now just begin to lower all the way down. Pull the knees in. Give yourself a little hug. Keep the knees together and just drop them. Windshield wiper them from side to side. Now we're going to take a few more abdominals, drop the legs over to one side, just pulse up 10 times or so. And then take the other side once you finish. 5 to 10 times would be good. And then come all the way back through center. Let the legs, let everything go. Shavasana pose. You're finished. You can rest now. Stay here for as long as you'd like. Let yourself stay for a little while. Give yourself that gift, honoring yourself, being so grateful. Rolling over to one side when you're ready to come out, bringing your hands to your heart center, being grateful for this practice, for the teachers, for life. Thank you. Thank you.